Hi everyone, welcome back. Today's video is another declutter. Today we're doing single shadows, shadow sticks, brows, mascara, eyeliners, all of it. I usually keep all those things in the same drawer, so we've moved on to drawer number 5. So after this, we only have one more, and I'm actually about to film it after I film this intro, and then we'll be done with the declutter series. But I was pretty happy with the outcome of this drawer. I actually was able to combine, and you'll see at the end, I was able to combine that drawer with my eyeshadow palette drawer. So now everything's in one, which I'm so happy about. You'll see at the end of the video, I put everything together and kind of move things around. But I love it so much more having all my eye things in one drawer all together as opposed to having two different drawers. Is so much better. So I hope you enjoy. This is yet another long declutter, so grab a snack. If you can't watch it all at one time, I totally understand. You can come back and reference it later, or maybe you just need something to listen to while you're cleaning or you're doing laundry or you're trying to go to sleep. I know a lot of you use these as a way to fall asleep at night, which I love, and I'm so honored to help you fall asleep at night. So I hope you enjoy it, and if you're new here, my name is Blair. I do all kinds of beauty content here on YouTube. I hope you'll stick around, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get into the declutter. All right, this is the drawer we're tackling today. So in here I have brow stuff, mascaras, some eye primers, eyeliners. I do keep random like new mascaras back there, a little bit of skincare stuff, and then all of my single shadows are in here. So we're going to start with all the single shadows, and I'll probably go through my eyeliners. I might not do like mascaras and primer or eye primers, and we'll do brows, I guess, quickly. I know this drawer is probably going to take a minute, so I don't want this video to be too long, but you know, we'll just have to see how it goes. But we're definitely going to start out with all of this over here because some of these I love, but there's definitely some stuff here that can go. So let's get started. All right, we'll start here with some of my liquid eyeshadows. As we've done with all the other ones, I'm going to pick easy ones first, and then we'll go through the rest. So easy keeps for me, definitely these two from Armani. I use these all the time. They're top favorites for me. It's 18 and 22. I love both of these. These are from Armani. They're the liquid shadows. So 18 is like a really nice matte beige, I would say, just a little bit darker than my skin tone, and 22 is a little bit deeper. It's a little bit more, I don't know, like a taupier brown. But this formula from Armani, particularly the matte ones, I prefer the matte ones to the shimmer ones. These are so incredibly creamy and easy to blend, but then once they set down, they are not going to move. I'm telling you, these are fantastic. So those two are easy keeps. When I run out of these, I will buy these again for sure. And I did not buy these actually. These came to me in PR, but I would 100% repurchase these with my own money. I'm also going to keep this one, which is 36M. So on me, this is obviously a really deep brown, but depending on your skin tone, this might not be super deep on you. But for me, I like to use this as liner and kind of smudge it out. But look at that. I mean, they just blend and smudge so easily. So I will also keep that one. Now, as I said, the shimmer ones are not my favorite. I prefer the matte ones. However, this one is the shade number 9, which actually, I haven't used that one in a long time. I forgot how pretty that color is. Shade number 9, it's kind of like a cooler taupe metallic. So I am actually going to keep that. This one I think I'm going to get rid of. This is shade 12. This one is even more like shimmery, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so it's almost kind of see-through with like little silver reflex in it. I mean, it's almost like a wet glossy look. I don't know if you can see that. I really do like the Armani one. So actually, you know what? We're gonna keep all of these. Also gonna keep this one from Rem Beauty. This is their matte liquid shadow in the shade Later. And I'm also gonna keep this. This is kind of similar to shade 18, but this one is more warm. Shade 18 in Armani is a little bit more of a beigey, cool pink kind of undertone. This one's a little bit more warm. But these are actually very nice from Rem Beauty. I haven't tried much from this brand, but the liquid shadows I do really enjoy. What else do we have here? All right, this is brand new to me. I just got this. I don't think I've even shared this in a video yet, but this is the Sisley Ombre Eclat liquid shadow in the shade Copper. And I have already used this, but it's brand new to me. I just haven't filmed with it yet, but this is shade Copper, and I saw Nikki LaRose using this and I just had to have it. She was talking about how beautiful of a formula it is. It lasts all day, and it does. It's just a beautiful, warm, but not too warm, golden liquid shadow, and I really like it. It's pretty neutral actually, so it's not incredibly warm. It's definitely not cool, so I love the undertone of it. That is brand new. I've literally had that for about a week, but that is definitely gonna stay. Then I have this one from Ilia. This is the liquid powder matte eye tint in the shade Adobe. This is one I used to just love, but now I don't remember the last time I used this, but this is a really nice warmer brown shadow. This one's pretty sheer, as you can see when you blend it out, but it is nice. I don't like this formula as much as the Armani formula or the Rem Beauty formula. So that's why I'm kind of struggling with this one. Okay, we'll put Ilia in the maybes for now because I'm not really sure. Then I have two from About Face. I have one of the matte ones. So this one is in Smell Before Rain, which is a very cool toned taupey brown. These are pretty pigmented in comparison to like the Ilia one. This one definitely has more pigment to it. This one is pretty. There have been times though when I've used it and I thought it looked, I wasn't crazy about the undertone of the color. It looked a little bit muddy on me. And then I also have one of the shimmer ones. This one is in the shade Fracture. And this is another one I've never like fallen in love with, but I don't really know why. So it's kind of like a sheer see-through kind of shimmer color with a bunch of different like reflex in it. I like the color, but I don't know. Every time I have used this, I have not liked it, and I'm not sure why, but that one I think is definitely gonna go. And honestly, I might get rid of this one too, because I kind of remembering this now, like when I've applied this, it looks kind of muddy and a little bit patchy. The shade is not terrible, but I don't know. Those aren't my favorites, so I'm gonna declutter those. And then we have the 3 eye paints from Persona. These are really nice. I will quickly swatch them for you. I really hope that they release more shades of these. So we have the shade Belle, which is my favorite. That one's like a true bronze. Then we have Oro, which this one is also pretty. It's a little bit coppery for me. I don't love that tone on myself. And then this is Pony, which is obviously a really, really bright pink. So there they are. I really do like these. I'm just trying to decide if I need Pony. I mean, it's really pretty and different, I guess. Oro looks like that. And then Belle is definitely my favorite. But am I gonna pull out like this pink glitter and use it? Probably not, you know? All right, I think I'm gonna declutter Pony. I'm definitely keeping Belle, which is this one. I'm kind of torn on this one. I think I'll keep Oro. Okay, so that is it for group number 1. Next group. All right, let's pick the easy ones first. I will be keeping the lid lusters from Victoria Beckham. I have 2 of them. I have Chiffon, which is this one, kind of a more subtle, like warm champagne. And I have Honey, which Honey is my favorite by far. It's more of like a warm gold. I really love these on their own, but particularly just like as lid toppers. I think they're so pretty for that. So those can definitely stay. I'm also keeping all three of my Merit shadows. So I have Viper, Studio, and Vachetta. So these are very, very nice matte cream shadows. You do, once they set down though, these are not going anywhere. So you do have to make sure that you blend them and get them like where you want it. Because once you set these down, or once they set down, they're gonna stay. So Vachetta, Studio, and Viper, warm brown, like a pinky taupey brown, or pinky beigey color, I should say, and then like a forest green. If you like a matte eyeshadow as a one and done, these are really, really good. You do have to make sure that you really close the lid tightly and you hear the little click so that you know that they're closed, because otherwise they'll dry out, and obviously we don't want that. All right, so gonna keep all of those. Now, then I have these little Kaja beauty bento boxes. So I have this one, which this is my newest one in Forest Night. So this has like a topper shade, a metallic shade, and then a matte brown that has some like golden green shimmer in it. But these are nice. I don't use these often though, I will be honest. This one is Chocolate Dahlia, and it's just a really basic neutral trio. Let me swatch this Chocolate Dahlia one. Yeah, okay, I remember this now. The mattes in here are okay, but they're not my favorite mattes. But I don't know. I do love this like topper shade from Forest Night. It's like a khaki green topper. They are a little bit chunky, the topper shades in here. I think I'm gonna declutter. I'm kind of shocked that I'm doing that, because I did, especially that Forest Night one. That one is pretty. I'm trying to be really, really picky with eye stuff, especially because, like I said in the previous declutter, like eyeshadow is just not my thing. And the older I get, the less eyeshadow I seem to want to wear. So I'm trying to be really picky with these. Then I have two from Revlon. These are the ColorStay cream shadows. I have Praline. So Praline is kind of a rose gold shade, but with a little bit less gold in it, more pink, less gold. But it is a pretty shadow. I haven't used that one lately. And then I also have Caramel, which is like a pretty classic gold. I will say that these are one of my favorite, more affordable shadow formulas, or cream shadow formulas from the drugstore. These are really good. Mine are definitely on the old side. I'm gonna put those in the maybe, because I'm not really sure. And then I have these from Surat. These are the Souffle eyeshadows. These are so interesting. I am gonna declutter mine. These were sent to me in PR. I'm not a big fan of this texture. So these are like a jelly texture. Like I'm trying to think of, what is this texture? It reminds me of something. It feels like Jello, kind of. I don't know how you would describe it. And like that color is pretty. That's like a green with gold reflex in it. This one is Matin Vert, I think is how you say it. But I can't explain it other than something about the texture on these. Just like, I don't think I've even swatched that one, so I'm not going to. The texture on these just does not appeal to me. I don't know why, it just doesn't. Yeah, that one's more of like a plum color. Nothing really to say bad about them. I just don't want to use something this texture. It's like Jello, and I don't know, I'm not a fan. So those can go. Moving along. Okay, some of these may be difficult. Definite keeps here. The Mermaid eye color from Chantecaille in the shade Sylvie. Perfect one and done brown. And this formula, oh my gosh, it's so nice. It is like a it's like a cream to powder, or no, I don't know that I'd even say it's cream to powder. It just has a really creamy, smooth texture, but it is a powder eyeshadow, but it's beautiful. Such a nice taupey brown. So that is an easy keep. Let's see, another easy keep, Danessa Myricks Color Fix in the shade, where is the shade? I think it's nude number 3. Yeah, it is, nude number 3. So this is extremely pigmented, but this, for my skin tone, this color is the perfect eyeshadow base, truly, because it's just slightly darker than my skin tone. But it is opaque, very pigmented, very creamy, but it sets down, and it's a really nice, either just one and done shadow or base for eyeshadow if you want to layer things on top. So that is an easy keep as well. Then we have this one from Revlon. This is the Color Shot Cream to Paint Metallic Liquid Eyeshadow. This one is in the shade Meteor Light, and this I will also be keeping. This is almost like a moussey texture, and look at the color though. It's so pretty, and it's creamy and just very easy to work with and apply. Has some gold shimmer in it, but it's not like super chunky shimmer or anything. Very, very nice. So that is another easy keep. 2 more that I will definitely be keeping. These Chanel single shadows. So I have Quartz Fume, which looks like this, and Brun Talpa. Okay, so Brun Talpa. So Quartz Fume is a little bit more warm, almost has like a khaki green gold kind of tone. Brun Talpa is much cooler, more taupe. Has a little bit of like a silver reflect in it, so they're very different shades, but I will definitely be keeping these. I got these a few months ago when they brought out the new single shadow. So that's Brun Talpa and Quartz Fume, but I love them both. These are super nice, very similar to the Dior Mono Shadows, which I have one that we'll get to in a minute. This formula is similar to that. It's pretty thin, but very smooth. It's not chunky, and they just look beautiful on the eyes. And they're just, obviously they're cute and beautiful to look at. So those are definitely staying. I have this one from Give. This is the Longwear Mousse Eyeshadow in Top Knot. I feel like I've said this entire declutter series, but I don't know what's going on with Give. Like, this shadow is so pretty. This is like a truly wet, tons of just different colors of shimmer throughout. Like, it has a pretty clear base, but it's the kind that looks like wet on your skin, and it's a moussey texture. It's very similar to that Revlon eye paint. But like, what is going on with this brand? I've seen all of these at TJ Maxx, the shades. I think that one can go. Now, then I have this, and I still don't think I can get rid of this. This is a Bare Minerals loose eyeshadow. This one is in the shade Queen Linda, which does not exist anymore. But when I was in high school, I really only ever used Bare Minerals because that's what my mom used. That's just what I did. And this was the eyeshadow that I wore. Just this one singular eyeshadow. It's like a warm, kind of like an olivey gold shade. And they don't make it anymore. And I don't even know how old this is, but I could tell by looking at the cap that it's very old. It's probably time to let it go. But it does just feel so nostalgic, but I'm not going to use it. It's time. I think this is one I am going to get rid of. So this is by Kofi, and it's the Zari Eyes eyeshadow. It looks like this. So this formula is also pretty unique. Oh, actually, I think mine is like dried out because it feels totally different. And it's a beautiful color, but what I have found with this shadow is, number one, like this is totally dried. It's supposed to be like a moussey texture. But on me, when I put this shade on my eyes, it turns kind of red. I think it has a lot of red in it. And I already have a lot of redness on my eyes anyway, so I think it makes it look even more red. And I don't love that. And I also just don't love the formula in general. So I think that is one that can go. Then we also have an Hourglass Scattered Light glitter eyeshadow in Reflect. This one is gonna stay. This is a beautiful shimmer. Kind of, I mean, like, look at that. That is stunning. That's stunning. It's like a perfect neutral metallic shade. And what's nice about these is you can either get a lot of opacity and really get that intense pigment, but you can also just barely tap in here and kind of use it as like a lid topper. But that one definitely needs to stay. Then we have Makeup by Mario Master Crystal Reflector in Bronzite. So this is just like a bronze topper. Like there's no base to it at all. It's just like warm glitter. It looks like that. It actually has like gold and silver in it. I feel like I could let this go though, because I prefer the toppers in the Ethereal Eyes palette. This topper is a little bit more chunky. The Ethereal Eyes toppers are very smooth. They don't feel chunky at all. This one's definitely a little on the chunky side, which isn't my favorite. So I think I will declutter that. And then we're left with a few more. So this is Tom Ford Emotion Proof Eye Color in Naked Eye. Okay, I cannot get rid of this. They don't make this anymore. It's also old, but okay, this was a fantastic single eyeshadow. And they reformulate, or they discontinued it. Why? Because this all over is such a perfect one and done shadow for me. It's creamy, almost like a moussey texture, but it is so easy to apply and blend. I got this years ago, actually, at a cosmetics company store for like $10. And now they don't make them. But that one I love too much. I can't declutter that one. They also don't make this, which I don't understand. The Cream and Powder Eye Color in Naked Bronze from Tom Ford. So you get like a topper on this side. This I actually had to buy. I mean, look at that topper. This I actually had to buy from Poshmark because these were long discontinued, like a long time ago. But I just really wanted this badly. So I went on, this was a while ago, I went on Poshmark and found a new one. And again, you can't get it, but I do love that one. So that's gonna stay. Then I have a Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize in Exagger Eyes, which I actually had a few of the Charlotte Tilbury cream shadows. I had Marie Antoinette and Jean, although now they've changed the names to Oyster Pearl and Champagne, I think. But this is Exagger Eyes, so this is one of the newer shades of these. And it's such a beautiful shade, but this is, I never use this one. Never. And I don't know why, because it's such a pretty color. I feel like I should get rid of it, but it's so pretty. Like, look at that. I guess we'll put that in the maybes. And then e.l.f. No Budge Cream Eyeshadow in Sand Dune. This is a great product from e.l.f., but they need more shades. I would give anything if they would release these in more shades, because there's like 2 neutral ones and the rest are really bright colors like blue and yellow, pink. Because this formula is nice. The one thing I will say about it is, like, do you see how pigmented that swatch is? Like, if you want a sheer wash of this, you have to be like ultra careful if you're a lighter skin tone. If you're deeper than me, obviously it wouldn't be as much of a contrast, but for me, I have to be really careful with this shadow, but the formula is so nice. So nice. I'm gonna keep this one. I wish they would make more shades. This is the last group of the single shadows, and we'll do shadow sticks next. But let's pick the easy ones. This is the one I was talking about earlier. Dior, the Mono Shadow in Brun Talpa. Beige Mitza. Brun Talpa is the Chanel one. Okay, so it's this shadow right here. This is one of my favorites in my whole collection. Even the formula on these is just 10 out of 10. Now this is again before they reformulated. So I haven't tried the Mono Shadow since Dior has done the whole reformulation. So I don't know about that. But this one in Beige Mitza, 10 out of 10. Can't do any better, truly. Then I have a Maybelline single shadow in the shade Nude Glow. This is such like a hidden gem from the drugstore. It's very hard to find in this particular shade, Nude Glow, and it's just a really basic neutral metallic, but it's just such a pretty one and done if you want just a little something, a little bit of a glow on your lid. It's so nice, and I love the shade of this. I will also be keeping this from Chantecaille. This is their Luminous Eye Shade in Cheetah, which is a really beautiful, warm champagne. And this formula from Chantecaille is just stunning. Stunning. Even the packaging on these is really nice. I love the Cheetah, and I love this. It's perfect shimmer shadow. So that is another easy keep. All right, then we have two from Urban Decay. These are the Moon Dust shadows in Wild Dipper, which is one of the newer shades, which looks like this. It's similar to Space Cowboy, but it's not as cool toned. It's a little bit warmer. And then we have traditional, or not traditional, but the one everybody knows, which is Space Cowboy. So that one is that one's Wild Dipper, and that one is Space Cowboy. So you can see that one's warmer, that one's a little bit cooler. But best glitter toppers truly that I have in my collection. I love these the most. So those are easy keeps. All right, so I have the Stila eyeshadow in Kitten that, you know, if you've been around makeup YouTube videos for a long time, I bet you remember when Kitten was everywhere. This is just, it's much more of like an old school eyeshadow formula. It's not as creamy as eyeshadows are now. But I mean, it's still a really nice shade. But is it as pretty as like the Chantecaille one? No. I feel like that one I can let go of. Then we have this I got for free. I think it was in a Beautylish order or something, but this is a little Natasha Denona shadow from the My Dream palette. I'm gonna declutter. This is too yellow toned for me. It's a little bit too warm, yellow gold. It's the shade Thrill. But that was just a free gift that I got, and I don't really love the shade, so that one can go. Then I have two from Sephora Collection. Now this one was my favorite for a really long time. This is the shade Milky Way, and it's still really pretty. It's just a very warm champagne. Really nice, but this formula is not my favorite. It's not as creamy as I would like. Like it's doable. It's almost somewhat similar to that Stila formula, but this one's a little bit creamier than the Stila one. Yeah, I feel like I can let that go, and I feel like I can let this one go too. This is shade Shock Chalk. It's a little bit chunky. I don't remember it being that chunky before, but this one's much more cool toned. It's like almost like a gunmetal silvery taupe. But they're nice, but they're not, I don't love them as much as I love the ones I'm keeping, so I think that can go. All right, then we have this single shadow from Clinique. This is the Lid Pop in Willow Pop. This was another cosmetics company store purchase. And I bought it because of the shade, because I love greens. But if I want a green, I'm going to use probably the Yucca palette that I kept from Natasha Denona. So I think that can go. I have one of the Charlotte Tilbury Pop Shots. This one is Pillow Talk Diamonds. I will say I love the little packaging on this. I think it's so cute. But I don't know what has happened to me with Charlotte Tilbury lately. But I'm just not as into their products. I don't know what has happened, but I used to be all about Charlotte Tilbury. Like even that now. It's pretty, but like this formula is super chunky, very hard, gritty feeling almost. And I mean, it's okay, but like I like the ones I'm keeping more. So that one is also gonna go. And then I have two singles from MAC. Now I'm torn about these because I really wish these were not in like a little component. I wish they were in a palette. And I think at the time that I bought these, I didn't realize you have to get like the single shadows from like the MAC Pro Store. I got these from Ulta. And this was before I made my MAC palettes that I showed you. This is All That Glitters, which is just, this is such a basic color. I don't know why I just love this, but I do. Truly just the most basic of basic metallics, but I do love it. So I'm gonna keep that. And then I have Soft Brown as well, which I would really rather have in, that like did not apply well at all. I think my arm might be kind of tacky right there. I'm gonna get rid of this one, Soft Brown. I might buy it again at some point to put in a palette. And that is it for single shadows. So now we'll move into eyeshadow sticks. Actually, I just realized since we're switching to another category, let me count these up because I'm gonna separate single shadows from like eyeshadow sticks. So I'm gonna count these up, but I did want to discuss the maybes really quickly. So these are the ones that I have in the maybes. Ilia is gonna go. I'm not a huge fan of the formula on this as opposed to some of my others. So that's gonna go. These are also gonna go just mainly because they're on the old side. These are decent shadows. These are at least like probably 3 years old. So I don't know. I just don't feel like I need those. So those are gonna go. And this is the one I can't decide about. Exagger Eyes from Charlotte Tilbury. I mean, this one, the shade is so pretty. I think that one can stay. All right, so let me count these. So started with 52, we're keeping 30 and we're decluttering 22. So I didn't quite cut it in half, but I'm happy with that. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's move into shadow sticks. Okay, moving into all of my eyeshadow sticks. So this is all of them. And we're definitely gonna get rid of some here because most of these I really like, but well, I shouldn't say most actually. Some of these I really like, some of them I don't though. So let's start with easy ones. All right, one I'm definitely keeping, this Victoria Beckham Eyewear shadow stick in the shade Trench. This is such like a perfect brown if I want just like a barely there neutral matte brown shadow stick. I love this one. Now I've heard that these aren't great in the other shades. I'm not sure because I've only ever tried Trench, but I love this one. So I will keep that one for sure. Then I have two from NARS. So these are new. These are the Total Seduction eyeshadow sticks. So I have the shade Don't Touch and Mambo. Don't Touch is like a cooler taupe. And Mambo is like a classic NARS shade. It's kind of like almost like a purpley red brown. But I do like these. These are very, very new. But those I do want to keep. All right, I tried to group them by brand, so it'd be a little bit easier. Okay, then we have the e.l.f. No Budge shadow stick in the shade Thrift Shop. Now, this is another great formula. Great product from e.l.f. I wish so badly that they would make more shades. These last, they truly do not budge. They're creamy, easy to use, easy to blend. I really like this one, so that can stay. I will also keep this Charlotte Tilbury Color Chameleon in Amber Haze. This is like a gorgeous, warm brown with a little bit of bronze in there. It's like a bronzy brown, really warm, beautiful color though. So that I will keep. Bobbi Browns are all up here. Let's go through the Bobbi Browns really quickly. I think for the most part, I'm gonna keep all of the Bobbi Browns. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna keep all the Bobbi Browns. I will swatch these for you so you can see. Okay, so this first one is Smoky Topaz. Smoky Topaz came in the Nordstrom Anniversary set this year. It's a really beautiful metallic, but it's, I don't know how to really describe it. It's kind of a taupe, but kind of a brown with some gold in it. Really pretty. This is a matte shadow from Bobbi Brown in taupe. This is interesting to me because this is not a super taupey color to me. It's a little bit warmer than taupe typically, but it's a great color. We'll keep, this is a newer one to me actually. This is Soft Bronze, and it's just a really light golden bronze. Moonstone is kind of a more sheer color. It's very bright, kind of more of like a topper shade. This is really pretty, like in the center of the eyelid. That I will keep. Then we have Shell, which is just a very light, basic, kind of like a pinky beige color, very similar to like Painterly from MAC. Golden Bronze, this has been a favorite for a long time. Golden Bronze is similar, I guess, to Smoky Topaz, but this one is cooler and a little bit more taupey, but very, very beautiful. This is actually, I guess this should be here, or it really should be in with eyeliners, but this is the Longwear eyeliner stick in the shade Jungle, which is a really nice deep green. Love. These are really nice. I really want to get another like brown or like a gray in these, but that I will keep. And then this is the one I'm kind of unsure about, mainly because I don't love either of these colors. So this is the dual-ended shadow stick from Bobbi Brown. I think they still make them. So that's Cashew. It's a very, very warm, like almost yellowy brown. And then we have pink copper on the other side, which is kind of like a rose gold. I don't love these two shades, so I think I will declutter that one. But all the other Bobbi Brown shadow sticks I'm going to keep. All right, then we're moving down here. These are my Laura Mercier ones over here. So I have two minis here. I have the shade Metallic Taupe and Strapless. Strapless, I'm pretty sure is like a Sephora exclusive brand, or not brand, shade. This was in the birthday kit either last year or the year before, but I think you can buy this shade in the full size only at Sephora. And then Metallic Taupe is that one right there, which is very, very pretty. I was thinking that I had Metallic Taupe in the full size. Do I not? No. I thought I did. Okay. Metallic Taupe I really like, so that one's gonna stay. Strapless is also pretty. I don't ever pull Strapless out and use it. I don't know why though, because I like it. It's a little bit, I don't know, it's like a lighter taupey rosy shade. I think we'll keep that. Then I have 4 in like the full size. Oh my gosh, they keep all rolling over here. So in the full size, I have Intense Moonlight, which is pretty similar to Metallic Taupe. I have Copper, which is beautiful. I will say this turns a little bit orangey on me sometimes, which is not my favorite, but I can definitely make it work if I don't go in like really, really heavy-handed, but it's definitely a little bit orangier than I like. I think I'm gonna keep it though. Let me just swatch them all actually. Then we have Cocoa, which this is probably one of her most iconic shades. It's a really beautiful dark brown. Really nice one to have. So that one will definitely stay. Then we have Amethyst, which is a purple color. I'm going to declutter this. This is just not, I don't know. It's not a shade that I love or that I use a lot. I probably should because I have green eyes. And purple typically looks good with green. But I couldn't tell you the last time I used this one. So that I do think I want to declutter, and I'm kind of debating these two. I'm going to keep these. I'm going to keep those. All right. Then I have 3 from Rare Beauty. So I have Contentment, which Contentment is my favorite. It's the most unique shade by Rare Beauty to me. It's a taupe, but it has like a rosy tone or undertone to it. We have Adventure, which is like a true bronze. And then I forget the name of this one. Well-Being, which is a really like icy pink. But this formula I actually like. These, I will say, they do start to dry down pretty quickly, so you do have to blend these pretty quick. You don't have a ton of playtime with these, so that's the only thing. But the formula I do enjoy, and I do really like these colors, I think. The only one I'm unsure of is Adventure, which is this one. It's a little bit more coppery than I typically go for. Usually when I use that one, I use it as like eyeliner. Yeah, I really like these though. Those 3 colors actually together make a really nice eye look. So I will keep, and then these. All right, these were all sent to me in PR from Jane Iredale, which is amazing and so nice. But I have to say, I am not a fan of this formula. There are metallic shades and there are matte shades. The matte shades are better than the metallic shades, I will say that. But none of them are like favorites for me. Like this shade is Saddle, which is a warm brown, but it's too warm. This turns like straight up orange on me. So like that one, I definitely would let go of. This one is Dove Gray, which is just like a cooler gray. And that's not really a color I use often. Are there any other matte ones? Alabaster, yeah, I think is matte. On my skin tone, it's like almost my skin tone. But I have some others that are identical to this that I'm keeping, and I like the formula more. And then let's see, this one is Americano. Okay, yeah, so this is like a dark, really, really dark chocolate brown. These just, I don't know, something about them I just don't love. And these are metallics. The metallics are very dry and they're just very like lackluster. I don't know, they're dry, they're just not anything special. I hate to say that because of course I have all of these, but they're just not great. I wouldn't recommend them. So I'm gonna get rid of all of those. And that is actually it for eyeshadow sticks. So let me count those up quickly. So I just added one more to the declutter. I'm actually going to declutter that Rare Beauty and Adventure because I was swatching it next to this Charlotte Tilbury Amber Haze. And they look similar, but I definitely prefer Amber Haze from Charlotte Tilbury. Something about the Rare Beauty one's a little too saturated. I think it's because it pulls kind of orangey gold, and I don't love that. I prefer Amber Haze from Charlotte Tilbury. So I am going to add this one. So I started with 32, keeping 19, decluttering 13. All right, so these are all of my eyeliners. And honestly, I'm probably going to really just cut this down like significantly. Because for eyeliners, I know exactly the ones that I love and I'm gonna use. I don't need a ton of eyeliners because I don't wear eyeliner every day, and when I do, I pick the same ones over and over. So let's get started. We'll start with the obvious if you've been on my channel for any length of time. I love my Victoria Beckham eyeliners. I have another one in here in my everyday makeups. I have 3. I have cocoa, cinnamon, and bronze. And I will swatch these for you, but these are just my favorite liners. They are creamy, but they set down. You can use them in your waterline if you want. And they're just so good. Like, look how opaque cocoa is. And then cinnamon, this one's probably my absolute favorite if I had to pick. It's like a reddish bronzy brown. So bronze is kind of more of like an olivey bronze, cocoa and cinnamon, but these are just the best. You get a little sponge tip thing on one side. I don't really use that, but it's there if you want it. So those are easy keeps for me. Another easy keep is, well, both of these actually. These have been longtime favorites. These are from Charlotte Tilbury, and they're the classic eye powder pencils. So these are eyeshadow in a pencil form. And I love them because they're so natural and they give you that liner look. But because they're shadow, they're much softer on the eyes. They're more forgiving. If you make a mistake, they're just a lot easier to fix. You don't see many things like this on the market anymore. So I have brown and shimmering brown, and those are staples for me. So those I will definitely be keeping. I will also keep the Makeup by Mario Master Pro Pigment liners. I have the Perfect Brown, which this used to be my favorite until I tried Cocoa. And I still love the Makeup by Mario ones. I use my Victoria Beckham ones more now, but I do still like Makeup by Mario ones. So that was the Perfect Brown, and then this is Soft Brown, which I really like. It's not as metallic as Cinnamon from Victoria Beckham. This one's just like a lighter, more warm brown. And the Makeup by Mario's have a little brush on the end, which is nice. It's a little flat painter type brush, but I do love those. So those I will also keep. I also love Persona liners. So I have chocolate, plum, stone, and graphite. These are also really nice. They're very creamy. So this is graphite. It's kind of like a gray, I guess like a darker steel gray. This one's my favorite. This is Stone. I love this one. It's similar to Cinnamon from Victoria Beckham. Cinnamon's a little bit more red than Stone. And then I have Plum, which is just a deep purple. It's very pretty. And then I have Chocolate, which is a little bit of a warmer matte brown. I guess it's pretty similar, honestly, to Soft Brown from Makeup by Mario. I know I'm keeping Stone because I love that one. I'm also going to keep Graphite because I like that kind of silvery, what is the word I'm looking for? I can't even think of the name. I like having a eyeliner in this color, which I don't have. That's like the only one. So I will keep that. I'm trying to decide about Plum and Chocolate. Chocolate I really don't need because I have Makeup by Mario and I have Victoria Beckham. So Chocolate can go. Plum is really pretty, but I also have this one from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Pillow Talk eyeliner, which this one's not really plum. This one's a little bit more of like a reddish wine color. This one's really unique. I am going to keep Pillow Talk from Charlotte Tilbury because that's just a very unique color. I'm just torn about Plum. I should probably keep it. No, you know what? I think I'm good. I think I'm good without it. Now we're getting into the harder ones. Okay, then I have 2 from Sephora collection. Now these are really good. These are waterproof and I think these are like $10 maybe from Sephora collection. I have Tiramisu and Flirting Game, but these are great. Very affordable and the most comparable, I would say, to like the Victoria Beckham ones at a more affordable price point. This one is Flirting Game. I'm definitely going to keep this one. Almost, well, I was going to say it kind of looks like Graphite from Persona, but this one is like a gray brown, I guess. I don't really know how to describe it, but I do like the tone. So that one can stay. Tiramisu, I really don't need because I have Mega by Mario, which is right there, and Victoria Beckham, which is there, but this is still a really good formula. I could yeah, I'm gonna keep that one. Okay, what else? Now these are really getting tricky. Okay, Rare Beauty, which one is this? Perfect Strokes Longwear Gel Eyeliner in True Brown. Okay, this eyeliner is difficult to work with for me. It's not easy to blend out. It's just a basic chocolate brown, which I have over and over. I have 3 of them now, and this formula is just not my favorite. It's like a twist up, which is fine, but I have a really hard time like smudging this out or kind of winging it out a little like I like to do. So that one can go. Then I have this one from NYX. This is the retractable eyeliner in Bronze. I kind of want to see how this compares to like Cinnamon from Victoria Beckham, which is right here. This one's darker, it's not as red, and it is metallic, which a lot of my other browns are not, other than Cinnamon. Honestly, it's similar to Stone from Persona though, and I prefer Stone. So I'll get rid of that one. Then I have this one from Patrick Ta. This one's very interesting. This is the Precision Gel Liner in Copper Gold, which I don't have an eyeliner this color, but it's truly like a coppery shadow. But what I've liked to use this for in the past is my lower lash line. So I'm gonna keep that because I don't really have anything else like that. All right, then I have 2 greens, or actually I have a third one, which is this Charlotte Tilbury one, but I have Give eyeliner in the shade, I'm running out of room, Greener Pastures, which is there. And then this is Clinique in True Khaki. This is another sentimental product because when I was just not even really into makeup, but I would wear a little bit, this is the eyeliner that I would use. I can't believe that. Actually, so True Khaki is not as shimmery. This has more shimmer in it, the Give one. True Khaki is more of like a satin finish. All right, I'm gonna keep True Khaki and I'm gonna declutter the Give one. The Give one is not bad, but I don't need both of these. And I would rather have True Khaki. That's more satin. Then I have this one from Charlotte Tilbury with 2 different greens. So I have this one, and then, what was this even called? Green Lights Metallic Liner, I think. This one is matte. It's like a blue-green and then more of a metallic green. I never use that. So I think I can let that go. This CoverGirl liner in Toffee. I love the shade, but this, oh, well, I think I just broke it off. First of all, I think it was really dried out anyway, but this was a very dry formula in general that was very hard to use. You're supposed to be able to use this little smudger to make like a wing liner, but you really can't because this formula is really dry, really, really dry. So that is definitely going to go. I have this mini black liner from Pat McGrath. This was, I think, a free gift with a purchase or something. I never use black eyeliner, but part of me is like, well, maybe I should keep it. Although I'd rather have like the Victoria Beckham in black if I was gonna have one. So I think we'll declutter. I have this LA Girl Auto Stay liner in like a nude color. So I struggle so bad with the nude eyeliner in the waterline because mine, it irritates my eye when I try to put this in the waterline, and if I can get it there, it's gone in like a minute. So I don't know, this, I really want to be able to do this like the lighter eyeliner because I like the way it looks, but I really struggled doing that. So I think that can go. And then last is this NARS High Pigment Longwear Eyeliner in Mambo. So this is the one that I have the cream shadow stick in this shade as well. And I will say this eyeliner is not easy to use either. And I've also heard that NARS reformulated this, that this used to be a really great eyeliner, but over the years, I guess the formula has changed because I find this really hard to blend out. I like the color, but I think I can declutter that, honestly. Okay, well, let me count those up. That's all for eyeliner. So I'm adding 2 more to the declutter on these. I think I'm going to declutter the Pillow Talk liner from Charlotte Tilbury because I was noticing when I was trying to swatch this, I think mine has kind of dried out because I had to like really tug to get the pigment off. And I think it's just it's probably time for this to go. I've had this for probably 4 years at this point, maybe more than that. So I'm going to add that one. And I'm also going to add this Patrick Ta liner. I have used this on my lower lash line before, but honestly, I'm not going to do that often. And this is also a little bit more of like an orangey copper kind of color than I remembered. So I feel like I don't need that one. I don't need that one. So we are keeping 12 and decluttering 12 now. Let's talk about these mascaras. These are all the ones I have open, which I try not to have this many open, but you know, that's just kind of how it goes sometimes when you do this as a job. So let's go through these quickly. Victoria Beckham Future Lash. This is dried out at this point, but I wanted to keep it in so that I could include it in this video. This was not my favorite. I would not buy this again. This formula was very dry, like very, very dry from the first time I used it. And I wonder if it's supposed to be like that. I don't know. I don't mind a drier formula, but this was like significantly dry. And I like the curved wand. That's my preference in terms of a mascara wand, but there was just nothing wowing about this. And this was not an expensive, or it was an expensive mascara. I would like to try the newer one in the white tube. Let me know if you've tried that and what you think of it, but this one was not my favorite. The Merit mascara, I love this one actually. This one needs to go in the empties because it's old. This has been open for way too long. But if you like a tubing mascara and you like a very natural mascara, this is a good one. It's just a very basic mascara, but it's nice. It doesn't smudge. It's very separating, adds a little bit of length, not very volumizing, but it's nice. I would buy this. This actually came to me in PR, but I would buy this with my own money. This I cannot stand. Swede Pro Lash Lift Mascara, and I feel like I am definitely the minority because I know so many people that love this, but this is a clumpy mess on me. The wand is very interesting. It's basically just like a straight stick with like the tiniest little teeth right here. But the first time I used this, my mascara has never looked that bad. Like it clumped all of my lashes together, and I kept using it because I thought, okay, maybe I just need to give it a little bit of time, see if it gets better. No. It did not. I don't know what I'm doing wrong because I feel like so many people love this, but this Pro Lash Lift one is not for me. I think there's another one that they have. I haven't tried that formula, but this one was definitely a no. e.l.f. Lash and Roll and e.l.f. Lash Extender. I love both of these. Lash and Roll is my favorite. If I had to pick one, this is my go-to everyday mascara in brown. It is natural, it separates, it adds a little bit of length, and it's brown, and it's just perfect. It doesn't smudge. It has a curved wand, which I love. This is like holy grail status for me. That one's almost empty, but I'm gonna keep it for now. This one is the Lash Extender, which is more of it is a tubing mascara. This one adds a little bit or a lot more length than Lash and Roll. This one's not nearly as natural as that one, but this one is also in brown. And I do love, love, love this. It's gonna go in the empties because this one is definitely very old, but love it. Another one that I love, Clinique High Impact Hi-Fi Full Volume Mascara. This is so underrated in my opinion. This one's more of like an hourglass shaped brush, but this does everything. This adds length, volume, separation. It even has like some little fibers in it, so it adds like bulk to your lashes. This is a phenomenal mascara that nobody talks about. Love that one. This is a new favorite, the Lisa Eldridge Kitten Mascara. This one's brand new, so I've only had this for like a week or two. But this is basically an even more lengthening and separating version of Lash and Roll from e.l.f. The wands are very similar, but I gotta say, this adds so much length, it's insane. I don't know why. I don't know what it is, because this is a very basic looking wand, and I wasn't really planning or prepared to be wowed by this, but I'm wowed. I love it. The only thing I would say is I wish so bad it came in brown. It only comes in black. This is also a tubing formula. I don't know if I said that, but this one's tubing. Lash and Roll is not, but I absolutely love that. YSL Lash Clash I also love in brown, but this is the most intense mascara ever. It adds everything. This makes your lashes stand out, like really stand out. The only thing about it is very hard to remove. So for that reason, I only use this for special occasions, I guess is what I would say. But it's a great mascara if you want a lot of impact, volume, like in your face kind of lashes. This is that. This is that. So I would definitely recommend it for that if that's what you're looking for. And then I also have this sample of Chanel Le Volume de Chanel. Now, I have been wearing this little sample and this smudges on me. And I want to say a few years ago, or actually more than a few years ago, I tried this. I don't remember it smudging then, but now every time I wear this at the end of the day, I have a little bit of mascara on my eyelids. And I don't know why, but that I'm going to get rid of. And that's it for mascara. So the ones I'm keeping out are these three. Honestly, Lash and Roll, this one's probably on its last leg, but I use this until I just can't use it anymore. And this YSL Lash Clash is on the older side, but I think it has a little bit of life left in it. So we started with 9. We are getting rid of 6, keeping 3. All right, now for brow stuff. I'm gonna try to go through these really, really quick. And I'm probably going to get rid of quite a few things here as well because I know what I use and what I don't, and we're just going to clear this out. We'll start up here with brow gels. Ilia In Frame Brow Gel. It's just a clear brow gel. I got this in PR. It has a really tiny little spoolie here. I mean, it's okay, but it's definitely not my favorite, so I'm going to declutter. This is brand new, the MAC Pro Locked Brow Gel. This is still so new. I need to keep using it. So far, I'm not a huge fan of it or the wand, but that one's so new that I want to hang on to it. e.l.f. Wow Brow. I love this product, but this one is old and dried up, but I will repurchase this. Milk Kush Brow Lamination Gel. This is okay. This also came to me in PR. It's not my favorite. It's a little bit chunky feeling in my brows. It makes them feel a little bit like sticky and thick feeling, which I don't love. So I'm going to declutter. NYX Control Freak Brow Gel. I'm going to declutter. This used to be a favorite. The last times I've tried to use this though, I feel like the hold is just not there. Like it's barely there. And I don't need my brows to be like laminated all the time. Actually, I don't really love that look at all anymore. But this, the hold is just not great on it. So I'm gonna declutter. Jane Iredale Brow Gel. Pure Brow Gel. Honestly, almost identical wand to that Ilia one. This was sent to me in PR. It's been open for a long time. I'm gonna declutter. This is brand new, Victoria Beckham Feather Fix Brow Gel. This one is light brunette. This is very different. So the wand looks like this, looks like a little hairbrush. I'm still testing this because it's so new. This is a liquid product, so you do have to be a little bit careful when you're applying it because it can get on your skin and kind of make a mess. But I'm still kind of testing this out, so that will stay. I'm also going to keep this. This is L'Oreal 24-hour brow lamination gel. This also came to me in PR. I've only used this twice so far, but I really liked it the 2 times that I've used it. I like that the spoolie is kind of slanted like this, and it's a little bit bigger than some of the other ones, but I've really been liking how this feels in my brows, keeps them in place, so that one I will keep. This one is my absolute favorite, Benefit 24-hour brow setter. If I had to pick one, I would pick this. This one has like a paddle style brush, so you can either laminate your brows with this, or you can just use these longer bristles here and kind of just fluff them up if you want. But this keeps your brows in place and it doesn't feel thick or chunky, or look thick or chunky. Then we have Patrick Ta Brow Wax. If you've been here long enough, let me know. Do you remember when this was like my favorite product for my brows? I liked the clear one the most. I used that up, and when I bought it again, I bought the tinted one. And I like this one too. I did prefer the original one though with no color. But I don't use this kind of product anymore. I don't even know. This hasn't been touched in at least 2 years. So part of me kind of wants to use it again. The other part of me is like, I think you're kind of over the soap brow lamination thing. Maybe we'll put this in the maybes and do this or use this in the chopping block declutter video. I think that's what we'll do. Then we have the brow lamination gel from e.l.f. So this is very, very, very similar to the Refi Brow Sculpt. It has like the exact same wand. And this is more for like a laminating type of product, which I don't really use anymore. I think I bought this. I think I was making an order on e.l.f. and I just added this to my cart at the last minute. I think I could declutter that. Mega by Mario Brow Gel. This is actually pretty much empty. I don't know why I even still have this. This has literally been open for probably more than 6 months, and it's pretty much gone. So that can go. This can go. The Sigma Prime and Control Brow Wax Stick. They sent this to me in PR, so it's kind of interesting. It's like a little crayon type thing, but it's supposed to laminate your brows, which I'm not really doing, and it's just not really something that I use. So that can go. Then I have Charlotte Tilbury Legendary Brows. This is another thing. This is old. I've had it forever. I've never fallen in love with this. I always felt like it made my brows look too dark or something. I don't know. Every time I used it, I didn't like it. I didn't like how it looked. And this is, I don't know how long I've had it, but it's been a very, 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 very long time. So that can go. I have the Rare Beauty Brow Pencil in Cool Brown. So this brow pencil has like an angled tip to it. The shade is pretty good for me, but the formula is not my favorite. It's a little bit dry. Like, I don't know if you can tell, but I don't know if mine is kind of dried out or what, but you have to add quite a bit of pressure to get the color payoff. And it's not my favorite. So I think that one can go. Maybelline Brow Express. This one is okay, but if I'm gonna pick a drugstore brow pencil, it's gonna be NYX Micro Brow. So I'm gonna get rid of that. This was my favorite for a long time. The CoverGirl Ultra Fine Brow Pencil in Soft Brown. I kind of want to keep this one and use it again because this for a while was my favorite. And then I got sidetracked and back on the NYX Micro Brow. I think we'll hang on to that. NYX Micro Brow in Cool Ash Brown, my favorite. I will declutter NYX Lift and Snatch. This is way too hard to use. So it's one of the brow pens. And first of all, it's very pigmented, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but I find these really hard to use. My favorite pen by far is Maybelline Build-A-Brow, which I don't know where mine is, but that's my favorite pen by far. So that's the one I'm gonna keep. So I'm going to declutter that. And I'm also going to declutter the Brow Flick. This one is even harder to use because the tip is even longer. And it's just every time I try to use this, it's a no. Let's see. Okay, Milk Kush Brow Shadow Stick. Now, I loved the idea of this when it came out. So this is like literally like a crayon that you use in your brows, but it gets really difficult to use because you get no precision with this because it's so round. And I can't even remember who it was. I saw someone using this a long time ago and that's why I bought it. But I think that can go. Clinique brow pencil in, I don't even know because it's all rubbed off. I also went through a phase with this brow pencil where I loved this one. I'm going to declutter Jane Iredale Pure Brow Pencil in medium brown. I'm looking up close at the swatches so I can see how warm or cool they are. I think I can declutter. That was in PR. This is new also from Victoria Beckham Beauty. And I haven't used this one enough to really know if I like it or not. This one is shade Taupe. It's a little small angled pencil. That's so new. I don't really know how I feel about it. So that can stay. The Dior Brow Stylist Definer. So this one is a twist up. I've also had this for a very, very long time. And I feel like I've used it often, like over the course of the time that I've had it, and it's just never dying. I guess I don't ever use it enough though to really use it up. I think I'm gonna get rid of it for now. And then Makeup by Mario Master Blade in Classic Brunette. Now this one is interesting because you like push this little button and that's how the product comes out. So this is a larger brow pencil, which actually I think mine is like dried out. I actually liked the color on this. Yeah, mine's getting really, really dry. This is Classic Brunette. I'm gonna declutter because again, I'm just really cutting down the brow stuff. And then this is Rare Beauty Shape and Fill Duo in light brown. So this was like a holy grail product for me for a long time. And Sephora quit carrying it. I'm not sure if they have totally discontinued this or what. But I really liked this, but then I discovered, which actually I have a few more brow things in here. But then I discovered this, which is brow powder from ABH in medium brown, and this like took over this for me. So now I'm wondering if I need both or not. Obviously this is staying because I love this product. All right, so I just looked this up and the only places this comes up online is rarebeauty.com and Kohl's, at Sephora at Kohl's, but all the shades are out of stock except like one and they've been clearanced. So I'm guessing that this product is going away. I'm just not sure if I want to keep it. I like the product. I just don't know if I want to keep it because I won't use it in content. We're gonna declutter. This is in my everyday makeup right now, the Kosas Brow Pop Nano, and I've actually been enjoying this pencil. It is the tiniest little pencil you've ever seen, ever. This one is in medium brown, and this is actually a really nice pencil. I've been really enjoying this. So that one can stay. And this I'm gonna get rid of, Rare Beauty Brow Gel, mainly because it's pretty much used up. It's kind of starting to get gunky. And honestly, this isn't my favorite. I liked it at first, but the more I used it, the more I realized, I think if I fill in my brows first and then go in with this product, I feel like this almost removes my pencil or my powder or whatever I've put in my brows. I don't know. I feel like every time I go in with this, it seems to like pull up some of the product. I don't know. Maybe it's meant to do this first and then fill in your brows. I don't know, but I probably wouldn't buy this again for that reason, and mine is pretty much empty anyways. So that can go. So I started with 30 brow things, so that's including like this, the pencils and the brow gels, everything. So I started with 30 things. I'm getting rid of 20 and I'm keeping 9. This one is the one, like wild card. This is gonna go in the declutter chopping block video that I'm gonna do once I'm finished with everything. But for now, we are keeping 9 and decluttering 20. All right, I forgot about these. I guess we'll go through them quickly. These are my liquid liners, which I don't ever use. And I'm honestly thinking about getting rid of all of these because what I've discovered recently is this Maybelline Build a Brow, which I just realized I did not include in the brow stuff. So I guess I'm keeping 10 brow products because this is number 10. So this is a brow pen and it has a gel on this side, but I've discovered that I love using this for eyeliner because this brow pen is it's sheer. It's not intensely pigmented, so it's much more forgiving and just easier in general to other brow pens that I've tried, and I like it for wing liner for that reason too. And you get a little brow gel on this side. So for that reason, I'm kind of contemplating if I need any of these. This Rare Beauty black eyeliner is a great one, but I don't wear black eyeliner. I think I got that for like a Rare Beauty video a long time ago. My favorite liquid liners, honestly, I don't really have any because I don't use them often. I like this one from One Size, okay, and Busty Brown. And the Physicians Formula one is pretty good in brown, but you know, I just don't use this type of product. This from Maybelline was good. Now it's like leaking though. The Hyper Easy. But yeah, it's leaking. This NYX one has never been a favorite. The tip of it is a little bit too large. If you have smaller eyes or hooded eyes, it's hard to find a good liquid liner that is not too difficult. This one from Too Faced, like that one's never been a favorite either. L'Oreal. This is kind of similar, honestly, to the One Size, and I prefer the One Size. This one in Big Truffle from Fenty. I love the color, but do you see how dark and like wet it is? So if you screw this up, you can't recover. You cannot recover. It's just too hard to use. It's too hard to use. I guess we'll keep this one. This one's not dried out. I like the color, so we'll keep that. So we had 8. We're decluttering 7 and keeping 1. All right, so this is really it for the drawer, other than a little bit of like skincare stuff, but I'm not really gonna get rid of that. So this should be the last little bit here. But these are eye primers, and honestly, I use the same things over and over. I use these from Sigma. The eyeshadow bases I love in Ignite and Persuade. These are what I reach for like 9 times out of 10. They're basically like an eyeshadow stick, but they also are great as a primer if you want to layer something on top, but they're also just really nice for if you want to quickly even out any discoloration in your eyelids. These are great for that. So those I will keep. I also really enjoy the Rare Beauty eyeshadow primer. This one has like a little bit of a tint, but when you blend it out, it's pretty sheer. It doesn't give a whole lot in terms of pigment or coverage, but sometimes I don't want that. So that one I do enjoy, so I will keep. Then I have 2 paint pots. I have Painterly and Groundwork. Groundwork I just got recently, and I love this as a one and done eyeshadow. So that really should have been in with that drawer. Painterly is looking rough. Like, look how gross and old it is. But at the same time, usually I can kind of get it to work. But, you know, I guess I could always get a new one if I want it. Honestly, I'm going to get rid of that. I like the paint pots, though. Then I have this one from Milani. I know a lot of people love this. I don't ever use mine though, so I'm gonna declutter. This one is kind of similar to, or it is very similar to, Urban Decay Primer Potion. And it's nice, but I don't ever really reach for that like smooth silicone type of primer. And that's kind of what that is. So I'm gonna declutter. Then I have this Makeup by Mario Master Eye Prep and Set. So you get a powder and 2 creams in here. And I think these are meant for the eyelid, but I've seen randomly some people using this underneath as like a color corrector. I probably wouldn't use this formula for that because these are very dry creams And I wouldn't put these under the eyes. And I don't really use this very often. So I think I can declutter that. NYX glitter glue. I never use, but this is like one of those things that's just nice to have for like a specific thing. I feel like I don't need it though. I don't use it. That's just not something I feel like I have to have. Another example of a NARS product that they have once again discontinued, the tinted eyeshadow primer. They make the original one with no color. They don't make the tinted version, which was my favorite. So I'm like, okay, do I keep this? I really do like this product. Why does NARS do this with all of their eye things? I just don't get it. And then this is Trish McAvoy, the eye base in Demure, which is ironic right now. So this is it. It's like a light, kind of like a beigey pink. And this, I will say, is a little bit on the dry side and you have to blend it really quick. But this is not super old. This was sent to me in PR. I'm gonna keep that one. I'm gonna keep that one, and then I'm just left with this. Why, NARS? Why did you discontinue this? I don't understand it. Okay, I like this formula. I feel like I want to keep it and at least use it up. So that can stay. So we decluttered 4 eyeshadow primers and we are keeping 5. All right, that is everything. That was a lot. So now, as we've done with every other declutter video, we're gonna organize everything back in the drawer, and that'll be it.